What's going on, everybody? With another week down, there was quite the mix of variety of men's fragrances this past week. A lot of stuff that smells really, really good, especially for my particular taste and what I like this time of year. I want to go over it with you. It's week number 99, so stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday with a fragrance that was a bit of a game changer for me personally. It kind of really opened up different avenues of my taste and my palate for fragrance. I'm talking about the original Dior Homme. This is the 2011 to 2019 formulation. Such good, great actually. Well balanced iris. A little bit of leather, a little bit of freshness, a little bit of sweetness. Some woods. It's got a lot of things going for it, but it's a very nice balance. It's not too floral and powdery, but for certain people's taste, I'm sure it is. It's probably way too feminine for a lot of guys, but for those that really want to expand their horizons and really open their palate up to florals a bit more, I think this is one of the best fragrances to really experiment with, because if you like my philosophy anyways is if you like the original Dior Homme, you'll probably like most floral fragrances marketed for men, because I really believe this is probably the best overall men's floral fragrance out on the market of all time. Harder to find these days, especially since it was rebranded as Dior Homme, but it's lovely. Don't get me wrong, while not my absolute favorite in its own line, it's the one I respect the most for what it's done for men's fragrances. Obviously the Parfum being my favorite. This is probably my second favorite, more so than the Intense and even Dior Homme Eau. This is one of those borderline masterpiece designer fragrances in my opinion. And then when I got out the shower on Sunday, this is probably my favorite from Dossier Perfumes. This is Fresh Woody number 4. I don't know what its new name is. This is the older names that they used to label, but this is Polo Bleu Eau de Parfum. Oh man, this is some really good stuff. Smells pretty much one-to-one with Polo Bleu, if not maybe a little bit better quality, to be honest with you. They may even, I think this is a little bit better oil quality than actual Polo Bleu. Lovely fragrance. Performs great on me. 6-7 hour fragrance. I mean, it's not a beast, but for Polo Bleu, that's pretty solid, bordering the 8-hour mark, especially if you spray your clothes. I love the way this one smells. Like I said, this is probably my favorite from Dossier Perfumes. I actually like wearing this more than actual Polo Bleu, to be completely honest with you. Do I like it more than Polo Bleu Parfum? Polo Deep Blue Parfum? No, that's kind of a different beast. That's like mixing Polo Bleu with Dior Sauvage, so that's kind of a bit of a different fragrance while still having some Polo Bleu DNA. But as far as the Polo Bleu line as a whole, I like this better than most of the Polo Bleu line. It's really good. It performs better than most of them, like I said, outside of Deep Blue Parfum, which is my favorite. But as far as the EDT, the EDP, Ultra Blue, and so on, I think Dossier's version is a bit better. Out the shower, Fresh Woody from Dossier Perfumes. Moving into Monday is one of the most polarizing men's fragrances of all time. It changed the marketplace as a whole, starting when it came out in 2010. Really over the last 5 or 6 years, it really has impacted this market heavily because there's so many fragrances that make their version of this. I am talking about Creed Aventus. Yes, this is my 19 S11 batch. I haven't wore it in a while, and it just felt like it was time. Look, I have tons of ways to smell like this fragrance, from clone houses, from designers that did their take on it, to niche houses that did their take on it. I have more ways to smell like Aventus than anything else. And for me personally, the best smell is still what they're all trying to replicate with the original Aventus. Now, it's very expensive. I understand that. Even gray market prices is going to be the mid 200s from discounters. I understand it's quite pricey. But for me, I feel like it's decant worthy or sample worthy. You can get official carded samples from Creed. just to experience it, to see what all the fuss is about, whether good, bad, or indifferent, whether you'll end up hating it or you'll end up loving it, or you'll say, that's not worth the money, I'll stick to Mont Blanc Explorer, or Club de Nuit Intense Man, or Afnan Silver Supremacy, or King of Kings from Sensual Obsessions, or whatever your favorite take on Aventus is. I still think you need to have the olfactive experience of the original just to see. Like I said, worst case scenario, you spend $10-15, get you 1 ml, 2 ml, something like that, and you're either going to be like, wow, I need a bottle, this is better than everything that's supposed to smell like it, or, yeah, my clones are close enough. I know that's a bit tangential to it being in my rotation, but it's not that often that Creed Aventus is on the channel. Not near as much as things that smell like Creed Aventus. And I felt it was noteworthy because, you know, there might be somebody new watching this channel and this is their first video for the first time. So I figured I'd give you my genuine thoughts on this. Is it worthy of your money? That's up for you to decide. It's not necessarily worth what it costs when there's so many options out there that even perform better than it. But like I said, have the olfactive experience, it's worth it. I love wearing it every time I wear it. I enjoy wearing Creed Aventus more than anything else that I have that smells like Creed Aventus, even though I kind of like Bonnumber9.com and Matar from Spirit of Kings are kind of my two favorites. They're niche versions that make their own version of Aventus essentially. I do like those a little bit better, but they don't quite give me the feeling that I get when I wear Creed Aventus. And then when I got out the shower, oldie but a goodie, polarizing, nobody talks about it anymore. This is Christian Audigier. That's probably a name you haven't heard in a long time, and some of you may have never heard of it. This was during the Ed Hardy heyday, when Ed Hardy was super mega popular. All the fragrances and that came out were Ed Hardy by Christian Audigier. This was the parent brand to those men's and women's fragrances. My wife's had the women's version of this for a long time. Very synthetic, I mean very synthetic, but there was a time when I loved this. This is my second bottle. I had a bottle many years ago. I went through the Ed Hardy phase. I love the fragrances. I still love Love and Luck and Hearts and Daggers are two of my favorite designer fragrances of all time, even though I don't wear them much anymore. I have multiple bottles. The original Ed Hardy by Ed Hardy, lovely sweet amber fragrance, kind of in the realm of a Dolce & Gabbana The One. You know, they're decent. You can get them really cheap now. You can get this for like $15-20. This is blackberry, rum, leather. It's a bit different. It doesn't smell like everything else. Like I said, it's very synthetic though. That's the only knock I could really put on it. It's not some beast performer. It's an average performer. It's like a 6-hour fragrance on my skin. It's solid and it's different. It has gotten me some attention over the years. I mean, I went through an entire 100 milliliter bottle that came in a gift set many years ago. I mean, we're talking over a decade ago. And this is just one, I did rebuy it a while back, and it's one for nostalgia's sake that I do like to wear from time to time. And this isn't normally something I would wear out the shower, but I was just in the mood for it. It's just one of those random fragrances that are nostalgic that you just get an itch for once in a while. And that was the situation here. Out the shower, Christian Audigier. Moving into Tuesday, while very new to the collection, very much becoming a quick channel favorite in the little bit of time I've spent with it. This is from Armand Jane. This is Montebaco Verano. And look, I'm not the biggest fan of ISO E Super. I like how it's done in Bleu de Chanel Parfum. How it's done in Dior Homme 2020, it's a little overwhelming for me the way the blend is in the dry down. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's okay. But it's something about the way this super juicy grapefruit comes across with this light, dry tobacco, soft, supple leather. It's a little soapy and aromatic. It projects pretty well without being overwhelming. It lasts very long without being, 12 plus hours crazy beast. It's very well pronounced. It's super versatile. The color of the bottle is fitting. This is a very blue fragrance in my opinion. I would definitely put this in the niche blue category. I'm really digging this one. I mean, those of you that have been watching me a while, you know I love my blue fragrances, whether super cheap blue fragrance, a mid-level designer fragrance, or the occasional niche blue fragrance. And this is definitely that in my opinion. Full of ISOE Super though. Once it dries and the grapefruit kind of kills off, it's like ISOE Super, leather, and some woods is really what kind of take over the fragrance for me. I don't get a lot of the tobacco. I do get a little hint. It's barely detectable and noticeable for me on my skin. I notice it more on the paper, believe it or not. But this stuff is stunning. I love it. I really do. The more I spray it on my skin, the more I happen to enjoy it. This is definitely sample worthy. If you can find a sample somewhere, it's not that cheap. 50 ml, 190 bucks. I do have 10% off from Twisted Lily linked below, but get a sample and try this one. Now, if you're a fan of blue fragrances, maybe 190 is going to be way out of the realm for you, and I totally understand that. But if you try it, you may end up loving it because it did come out last year. It's not a brand new release. It's a 2020 release, but it's a 2020 release I missed in the year 2020, and it's definitely one of the better releases from last year in my opinion. This stuff is fantastic. We'll be spending a lot more time with it. I think it's signature scent, year-round worthy. This works for everything. This is a leather that you can wear in the summer because it's not an overbearing, animalic, and rough leather. There's so much freshness here, and it still performs really well. That's Ormond Jane Montebaco Verano. And then when I got the shower, it was time for a good shave. So I busted out my Business Over Pleasure shave set. Went with the shave soap and aftershave splash, and you guys know when I have the matching fragrance, which of course I do in this situation. Gave myself a few sprays of the fragrance as well. There's still some of both left while we're definitely nearing the end, just about out of the fragrance. There's still a decent supply of the shave sets available still. Last I talked to Chris from Gentleman's Nod, they still have a decent amount. Oh, man, I love this stuff. Of course I do. I made it, you know. If you've yet to try it, reach out to Zaharoff. You can get your hands on a sample. See if it's sample worthy for you. Versatile, fresh spicy, lightly powdery floral iris, creamy, a little smoky and woody. Love the woody nuances in the dry down here. Versatile, blue style while not quite a blue fragrance. Versatile, works safe, inoffensive, works for everything. It's my baby. Out the shower, went with the Business Over Pleasure shave set and some sprays of the fragrance. Moving into Wednesday, this was such a pleasant find, such a great cheapy gem. They are sold out from Kingdom Fragrances. The testers were 20 bucks. They did sell out pretty quick. I don't know when Steve will have more in stock, but you can find them in the $20 to $30 range all over the place. They outperform and outsmell that price big time. This is Pepe Jean's Celebrate for Him. This beautiful studded martini mixer, shaker style looking bottle. Here's your shot glasses, the cap. This stuff is awesome. Cacao dominant, spicy but not too spicy. It's got a little bit of a boozy nuance, but no boozy notes here. At least that's how it comes across to me on my skin. This stuff is awesome. This chocolatey leather cacao pod type of smell with some cinnamon, some woods. I really dig this one. The wife likes how it smells, and I did get a compliment in this wearing from this day at the grocery store, actually at Sam's Club. And this stuff performs really well on my skin. While I would not call it a beast, I would call it just a click or two behind being a beast. It performs really well on my skin. It's quite unique. I say that, and I've seen and heard people compare it to Pure XS or Pure XS Night maybe from Paco Rabanne. I haven't tried that one, so I can't verify how close it is or is not to Pepe Jean's Celebrate for Him. But this stuff is awesome. I am so glad I grabbed this for $20. This is probably the cheapy steal of the year for me because this so far smells so far away from being a $20 fragrance in my opinion that it's unreal. I still can't believe this was only $20. I would have gladly paid 40 or 50 bucks for this and been quite happy at discounters at that price. But 20 bucks, 30 bucks is an absolute steal for the scent quality, the uniqueness, the compliment factor, and the performance. And in that cool looking bottle. During the day, Pepe Jean's Celebrate for Him. And then I got the shower, one I haven't worn in a little while. This is English Laundry. This is Cambridge Night. This is one of those loose bottles. That's why it has the tag. I do have an older bottle where the color is a little bit different. It's more deeper burgundy-ish red, more translucent, less reflective metallic. My older bottle performs a lot better. Well, this is like a 4-hour fragrance. Nothing special in performance, but it still smells great. Not as rich and deep as my older bottle, but still smells incredible. I have one shower gel left, and anytime I use the shower gel, I tend to use this out the shower. Still my favorite from English Laundry. It's a kind of better version of Invictus, honestly. Adding the black currant and the lily of the valley added that little bit of a mature polish. It's not quite as sweet and playful, not quite as aquatic. It's a little bit more refined while still playful. It still smells like Invictus, but it smells like a slightly more refined version of Invictus. Really, really good stuff. Out the shower, English Laundry, Cambridge Night. Moving into Thursday is one that I have not wore in quite some time. It's Violet Leaf, it's Iris, and it's a lot of it. It is Roberto Cavalli Uomo Silver Essence. This little 60 ml right here packs a punch. Violet Leaf bomb. Violet Leaf and Orris. Powdery, but it's not too powdery. It's almost soapy floral, but not quite. The Violet Leaf really overtakes this fragrance. Obviously, there's other notes going for it, but man, this stuff is fantastic. It performs really, really well, too, on my skin. It's like an 8-hour or so fragrance. Projection is not a room filler, not too heavy. It's right in that moderate, average, arm's length type of stuff for a few hours. It's for a few hours, not just an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's for a few hours. It's pretty consistent. Then it starts to sit pretty close to the skin with little mild wafts here and there. But it's a solid fragrance if you're looking for performance. It doesn't smell super synthetic or anything like that. It has a little bit of uniqueness going for it because it's Iris and Violet Leaf dominant. That's an interesting mixture in my opinion. Normally you get one or the other dominating a fragrance. Usually it's not both together working in unison, and that is the case here. This stuff is fantastic. I still need to try Deep Desire and La Note, the two that I don't have from the line. I do have the original, which is awesome as well, but this is probably a bit more casual, a bit more versatile in my opinion versus the original Roberto Cavalli Uomo. This is definitely more laid back, but still has a class and elegance to it as well because of that Iris. But during the day, Roberto Cavalli Uomo Silver Essence. Now I got the shower. It was another wearing of the unicorn that's been popping up everywhere, Montblanc Starwalker Extreme. So this one's been popping up a lot at Ross Dress for Less. My buddy Tyler from Simply Fragrances actually sent me a note breakdown. Apparently it's on Nordstrom's website now that we actually have a note breakdown. Pineapple, apple, lavender. They got all these different fruits and everything that give that fruity sweetness that I get up top. This lavender, which is a more herbal lavender type of note. And there's some woods and stuff like that. There's tonka bean in here. There's quite the bit of notes, and based on what I saw with that note breakdown, which I'll have it on screen for you guys when I'm talking about it, it's decent. And so far in the couple of wearings I've had with it, it's about a 6-hour fragrance on my skin. Not a beast, but still blows the original out the water in performance. It's not super loud and bright as the original because it doesn't have that super airy freshness. This has more sweetness and a little bit more density. It does sit a little close to the skin, but it still projects pretty well overall. And it's I would say average projection, average performer. You can find this for 25 bucks for a 75 ml. And I mean, it's decent. It's not great. I'm not going to sit here and say it's great. I would put it slightly above average. Like I said, it was like a 6.5 out of 10 was what I rated it in my first impressions video. And I would still stick to that. I still think the original smells better. But this is an interesting take that leans in the good, interesting side of things. It's odd that it's named Starwalker Extreme when it doesn't really smell like Starwalker, the original, to me. So don't be fooled thinking it's going to be just a more potent version of Starwalker, because it is not. It's pretty much a different fragrance overall, but it's a decent fragrance overall. Worth the 25 bucks in my opinion. It's solid. I like it for sure. Out the shower, Montblanc Starwalker Extreme. Moving into Friday is one of my favorite pickups of the year. Immediately, I didn't even need a refresh on Friday, but I refreshed anyway like 6 hours in. I love the way this stuff smells. Yes, it does resemble the Stronger With You line for sure. It's kind of like mixing the Wanted line with Stronger With You. I'm talking about Azzaro, the Most Wanted. Not a screaming beast off of my skin. Man, this stuff smells good. God, this stuff smells so good. It doesn't scream off of my skin, but it has a pretty stout trail. It does project well, but not like a beast. This doesn't project as well as Wanted by Night, I find. But it lasts just as long as Wanted by Night. 8-10 hour type of stuff. Really, really freaking good fragrance. I'm so glad I picked this up. This stuff is awesome. One of the best releases of the year. In my opinion, of course. I kind of wish I'd have got more than a 50 ml. But 50 ml is going to last me so long, it's unreal. I say that, but 50 ml is plenty. I don't have to have a big bottle. I got tons of bottles. So, but I see myself reaching for this a lot more than Wanted by Night. I like Wanted by Night a lot, but when I'm in the mood for something like that, I tend to reach for Stronger With You more than Wanted by Night. This resembles almost like it's a flanker of Stronger With You with a touch of Wanted by Night in it, really. And I think that's why I like it so much, because I like Stronger With You more than Wanted by Night. And this kind of gives me the best of both. So this is probably going to take both of their places, honestly. I think this is such a good fragrance. I'm so glad I picked this up. Get out and try this if you can. This stuff is sexy, smells great. Yes, it's geared towards the evenings, but I wore it as a daytime scent, and I enjoyed every second of this stuff being on my skin. It smells incredible. During the day, Azzaro, the most wanted. And then I got the shower, one of my favorites, Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct, together. I don't know what I could say that I haven't said already about this fragrance in countless rotation videos. I mean, I wear this out the shower more than anything else, really. I have so many bottles of it. You can see the decent dent in there. This stuff is so good. As soon as I sprayed it on when I got out the shower, my wife said, "Ooh, what are you wearing? That smells really good. You smell really good." And I told her, and she said, "Well, it smells really good." So that's always a plus when your wife likes what you're wearing. Invictus Aqua, I might as well say it. Invictus Aqua meets YSL EDT meets the original First Instinct. You get First Instinct together. Great daytime scent, bright, fresh, super synthetic, but smells great. Can definitely get some compliments, and one that I've told you guys many occasions. You see it at the rack stores for cheap, roll the dice, give it a shot. If you end up not liking it, I apologize for the recommendation, but I personally love this stuff. I have many bottles of it, 50 mLs and a backup 100 ml. Out the shower, Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct together. Finally, on Saturday, these are two fragrances from two of my absolute favorite niche houses. Starting with one that I haven't been wearing much from the house recently, and that's a shame because pretty much every fragrance they've ever put out is incredible in my opinion. The only one that really doesn't jive with me that much is Zaharoff, because it's such an animalic and earthy, dirty vetiver in the opening. I got to get to the dry down because the opening is just rough for me. But this is their newest release. Super versatile, fresh, woody, a little sweet. It is Kajal Homme 2, their newest release. This stuff is just so easy to wear. Look, I love Kajal Homme. It's still, in my opinion, the best place to start, but this runs a close race. It's a safe fragrance from them. It really is. It borders being a blue categorized fragrance as well, because it's so easy to wear. It's so versatile. It's fresh enough. It's not too heavy and dense. You can wear this in the heat. You can wear this in the cold. It dresses up. It dresses down. Super, super versatile. Really, really good release from them, because some of their fragrances are a little challenging or very unique. They might be acquired taste, heavy florals, a lot of oud, more Middle Eastern style. But stuff like Kajal Homme 2, just so easy, yet unique at the same time. It's its own thing. It doesn't smell like a bunch of other fragrances. This is a great fragrance. A great follow-up to the original Kajal Homme, because that was hard to top. Because that's still, in my opinion, the best place to start from them. While Lamar is still my favorite fragrance from the house overall, this and Kajal Homme run a close second and third with it, because they're just so easy to like and so easy to wear. During the day, Kajal Homme 2. And then when I got out the shower a little while ago, I still have a few more rounds left with my Zaharoff Signature Rosé soap bar. I used the soap. I gave myself a few sprays of the fragrance. I find myself wanting to wear this out the shower more and more. It's such a tranquil and relaxing scent. This is like a zen type of scent for me. It's very easy to relax and unwind. It's extremely aromatic roses up top. You have a dense rose, a fresh rose, a jammy rose, this variety of rose, heavy dose of incense, a mild smooth sweetness, warm wood oud. Man, this stuff I love it. I understand it's not for everyone, and that's fine. I love it. That's all that matters. I mean, I might as well give myself a few more sprays. Not that I needed them, but why not brighten that opening up? I've had it on my skin for about 2 hours. Didn't need a refresh, but we're sitting here talking about it, and why not brighten up that opening and get it back all in my face? This stuff is so good. Get yourself a decant, a sample from Zaharoff, and try it. You don't know if you don't try it. You may love it like I do. You may think it's okay, or it may not be for you. But you don't know if you don't try it. Out the shower tonight, Zaharoff Signature Rosé. Well, that was the rotation for week number 99. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. Did we happen to match anywhere along the way this week? Let me know down in the comments. I had some variety. Creed Aventus, Dior Homme. I mean, Kajal, new releases, the most wanted, some Zaharoff fragrances, and the unicorn that's been popping up more, Star Walker Extreme. I mean, I bet nobody saw Christian Audigier coming. I mean, it's just, you never know what I'm going to wear. I've got so many fragrances to choose from, so many fragrances that I enjoy. I never know what I'm going to be in the mood for. I try to set myself a little pile together for what I'd like to wear throughout the week, and it always ends up changing. Some stuff ends up sticking or moving a few days down or whatever, a few days up. And of course, some stuff ends up getting pushed to the side to another week, and other things will jump in the rotation. But that's part of the fun of having so much variety for me personally. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the fragrances in my last rotation, give them a spray now. You might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.